From Wall Street to Main Street, this is LALATE.
It's a big evening of Evenings LA with incredible great news about your fourth stimulus check update. 21, a House deal is done, and that recon will be passed with flying colors either tonight, tomorrow night, or the night thereafter. They will be passed whether or not they have a CBO report or whether they do. Then we go into the incredible programs in this recon. Lots of checks, upwards of $15,000 you're going to get for this incredible recon, the biggest payout we've ever seen in the history of this channel. But get wary about that, because fourth stimulus, no, third stimulus is paying out money this week. $45,000 is being paid out to average viewers of this channel. The average viewer getting $45,000 of checks from third stimulus. Your bills are going to get paid. I'll show you in this recording. Then we turn to the big exciting details of student loan debt forgiveness. $10,000 could be forgiven. And then we go to the big exciting details of fifth stimulus. Those details and more as we go into a big evening. I'm excited for you. We got some breaking news about sirloin. We have frame wars. It's a big evening, and the excitement is here. The excitement is upon us, and yes, here we go with the vote. Here we go with the money from third stimulus available right now, and here we go with Evenings Allies. What a big, bold, beautiful evening it is. And here we go. The House deal is done. We just have to have the vote. The incredible news tonight is that the House vote was going to be happening in the next few hours or day or two. The House vote will solidify the passage of your wonderful fourth stimulus recon with a Congressional Budget Office report available or not available. Not an issue across the board. The issue is how much money you're going to get. We're going to get on average about $15,000 across all these incredible programs in this recon. And this is not with us waiting around, because there's $45,000 of checks on average that viewers are getting from third stimulus right now. You don't have to wait around for fourth stimulus to become law. I'm going to show you how to go into the weekend with big sums of money, wads of money. And student loan debt forgiveness, more debt could be forgiven, $10,000, and then the exciting details of fifth stimulus. Plus, we got breaking news about sirloin. We have frame wars, those details and more as we go into a big, bold evening broadcast. I'm excited you're here, and this is Evenings Allied. So subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. I want you part of this incredible family. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like this video, 2,000-3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Boy, we got a lot in this video. Tonight, we're going to go over first the incredible recon broadly. All these incredible checks. Then we're going to go over the vote. Then we're going to go over each of the check one at a time, so you know how to qualify, so you know about the money. And then we're going to step back to third stimulus, because you need bills paid. I'm going to show you how to get your bills paid today. And then over to fifth stimulus, and also student loan debt forgiveness. Wow, what a big broadcast we got tonight. So when we look at this incredible recon, the great news is that this recon has lots of checks, multiple checks in there for you, and the average viewer of this channel from fourth stimulus is going to get across all these incredible clusters of many checks about $15,000. Are you ready? I'm ready. Let's go to the first clusters of checks, and here we go. Hazard pay got in there, and that is huge. Hazard pay got in there. That is that essential workers money back-end check, and that is a deliciousness. They got $4,000 of elder care front-end checks. They got $4,000 for caring for young children. They got the CTC, the child tax credit, for one more year for a front-end check. And one of the best and most exciting provisions is the home repairs low-income community front-end check. They got it in there. They also got in there the Pell Grant for my college students, $550 checks. And finally, the big $12,500 for the purchase price of a new electric vehicle back-end check. There you go. The first add-on, because remember we have 3 clusters and 2 add-ons. The first add-on is free money to go buy a house. Excuse me? Did you misstate something? No, that's actually the situation. Free money to buy your first home. It is gotten in there as an add-on by Maxine Waters. She wanted $25,000. It'll be a little bit less, and it is big. How do you get this money? Stay with me. It's coming up later in this video. I told you we got a big show tonight, and then we go into the second cluster checks. We have in the second cluster, we have paid leave. and it is front end. They got the household tax credit, back end, pre-kindergarten, front end checks, and then the home repairs. You definitely need to repair the home. This time it's weatherizing your home. Weatherizing your home. Definitely need to do that, because you never know when Joe Manchin pulls up in that very unattractive Maserati. It does not burn gasoline. It does not run on electricity. It burns coal. So weatherize quickly. There we go. The second add-on comes from the illustrious senator from Pennsylvania, Bob Casey, and it's $250 billion for that home health care. He didn't get that price tag. He got a little bit less, but he got it in there. And it's free home health care for my seniors and people on disabilities. How to get that? Coming up in just a second. Let's go to the third cluster checks. Wow, we are rocking and rolling. Here we go. In this third cluster starts the deliciousness. We got money for seniors. We got free school meals for all. We got the cheaper prescription medication, immigration reform, the farmers, the internet, the workers, and then the Medicare expansion. They got 2 provisions in on the House side. They represent they're going to do 3 more on the Senate side. What is that? They got the Medicaid gap on the House. They got the hearing on the House. And the Senate side, they're going to do the dental, the vision, and lowering the medical eligibility age for Medicare. Which brings us to the third add-on, and you know what that is. It is MSE, which stands for Multiple or Monthly IRS Stimulus Check. And there's 6 senators who have represented to thousands of viewers over the many weeks that they're going to add it in on the Senate side. So let's go over the details of that first. The numbers. Well, we have 6 senators, 2 C's, 2 W's, 2 S's. Sanders Schumer, Warren Wyden, Casey Coons. And one viewer reached out to one of them. Her name, Lynn Glenn, a longtime viewer, did it this week. And that one of those 6 said, it's still going in there, and it's going to be multiple. The last time we heard a breakdown from those senators, this is what they represented. They represented $2,000 the first month, $1,000 thereafter for up to 6 months. Eligibility, same as third stimulus. The eligibility under third stimulus was $75,000 or less. Single individual got a check. Married couple, $150,000 or less, they got a check. Double it. Family of 4, they got a check. Quadruple it. And if you're on benefits SSI or SSDI, they got a check as well. The legislators represent they're doing the same amount of money in this recon. Now, here's what's at issue. Is for that MSE, the senators have 2 opportunities to add it in there. Remember, the House bill does not have it in there. The senators must add it in there if it's going to get in there. 2 opportunities: Senate Vote-A-Rama or the Senate subcommittee. Senate Vote-A-Rama is the very end of the process. Senate subcommittee possible because they have a lot of other things to add. But if you've seen the videos since last Saturday, you have resonated and responded beautifully. Why? Because I said, if you need bills paid right now, if you need rent, utilities, mortgages, and more is paid right now, do not look to force stimulus to pay that money. Because the money is available right now. How much? On average, $45,000 has been gotten by viewers of this channel from third stimulus, which includes those checks. In the second half of this video, I'm going to show you how to get that big money. Then we're going to turn over to that incredible voting on that recon. That voting on the recon is happening. We'll be going over the CDC report, CBO report, whether it's available or not. And then the big checks under this fourth stimulus recon that'll pay you on average about $15,000 across these multiple checks. Student loan debt forgiveness, more debt could be forgiven. How much is it? And then we turn to the big exciting details of that COLA raise. Those details and more. Surprise announcement from Sirloin. A little bit of a surprise from Frame Wars. But I'll be back with you first in just a second. Here's a little bit about the community page. I'll see you in 60 seconds. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on mornings LALATE at 9 a.m.
home. LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE.
And the excitement continues right now as we have a deal on that recon. And away we go with that incredible recon that'll pay people a lot of money. And here we go. The voting is starting as early as tonight, if tomorrow, or the day after, with or without the Congressional Budget Office report. And the programs will pay you a lot of money, upwards of $15,000 across all these incredible checks. But no time to wait for that fourth stimulus to become a law, because third stimulus is paying right now. All the latest details of how you get the big money for third stimulus this evening, and then we turn over to student loan debt forgiveness, and then finally, the big money under fifth stimulus. Those details and more, plus breaking news about Sirloin and the return of Frame Wars. It's a big, bold, beautiful evening. I'm excited you're here, and this is LALATE. So subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record, and 140 million views in a year and a half. Like this video and consider becoming a member. Join me next as we go into Countdown, then Stream Stimulus, and then Sirloin as he returns with new reruns on this channel for the first time ever. And with that, here we go into the excitement. The excitement tonight starts with that vote on that reconciliation budget bill. The fourth stimulus reconciliation budget bill will be called for a vote either tonight, tomorrow night, or the day after, and it will be done. The Nancy Pelosi progressive moderate Democrat deal said that the vote would happen no later than the week of November 15th, and no one is waiting for the Congressional Budget Office report anymore. It's not likely to be available. They're not worried about it. Why? Because the Democrats got the White House and the Treasury Secretary to both confirm that the recon is fully paid for. So they're not worried about it. Which brings us to the programs. The programs in this incredible fourth stimulus recon pay you about $15,000. Lots of checks that add up to an average about $15,000. What are they? We're going to go over each of them starting right now. The first check is paid leave and family leave. Very big. How much is this? $1,700 a week if you make $70,000 or more per year, or $800 a week if you make $35,000 or more per year, $400 a week if you make $15,000 or more per year. What is this for? Single individuals. Actually, what is this for? This is for people who have to stay home because of death, illness, or person who is giving birth in the household. Now, you may not work, you may not have a salary, but your son or daughter does that you live with. They're going to get the check on your behalf. Case in point, let's say you are retired, but your son and daughter work, and they take you to the hospital for your procedure once a week. Well, they're going to get the check. How much is this? A lot. Up to 4 weeks a year. And 4 weeks at that price point, yes, that's $5,000 to $6,000. It's a lot of money. The best part of this incredible provision is that it has no disqualifier. All income levels, all types of workers. First, $200,000 or $20,000, you're going to get it. Then W-2 or 1099, you're going to get it as well. The next check that got into this incredible recon is huge, and boy, is it wonderful. It is a benefit issue, actually, and it is the wonderful money for SALT. When you go to pay your federal tax return, you can deduct what you paid on state tax returns, but only up to $10,000 under the Republican rules of the 2017 tax overhaul. No longer the case. The Democrats have now made the SALT tax deduction to $72,500 of what you made in state and local taxes, what you paid in state and local taxes on that federal tax return. Then the job training. Wow. They're going to allow $40 billion of job training on that incredible recon. Big for my seniors, because guess what? Under fifth stimulus, they're going to allow you to get back to work if you wish to, and allow you to still receive your benefits checks. Now you get paid for it. The Medicaid gap fix got in there as well. That Medicaid gap fix, very big. Lots of viewers always asking me about insurance. Here we go. If you're in one of those 12 Republican governor holdout states where they refuse to pay for Obamacare, no longer a problem. They have a workaround plan in this recon that will provide years of subsidized private insurance to low-income people in those states where they are uninsured. And finally, we get to housing assistance, the biggie, the wonderful, the best provision of this entire recon. And it pays $150 billion for housing programs, rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, home repairs, weatherize your home, and first-time home purchases. Wow. Now, notice that price tag, $150 billion. Third stimulus was $47 billion. And here's the difference. The programs repeat from third stimulus, but you don't have to wait for fourth stimulus to get your bills paid. You can get them paid today with third stimulus. In this video, I'm going to show you right now how to get the big pump sums of money. Third stimulus. The average viewer of this channel has gotten $45,000 from third stimulus. Many viewers have gotten over $100,000. Today is your day to get that money. You need bills paid. You're going to get it from third stimulus starting right now. Here is the overview of what we're going to cover. Rent, utilities, mortgage assistance, also food, small repairs like a broken window, small appliances, clothing, things like that. From third stimulus to the nonprofits, and it starts right now. Overview to start, though, is you qualify. You absolutely qualify. Whether you're behind in the bills, not behind in the bills. Rich, poor, young state, young or old. Poor state, rich state, disabled, not disabled, senior, not a senior, on unemployment, unemployed. You qualify. Let's go over that incredible money for the rent. And we'll start by looking at the graphics of how much money the people are getting. It's huge. These were the graphics that viewers got for rent about 3 months ago. $20,000 to $30,000. Now they're getting upwards of $40,000. Why so much more money in just a short period of time? Let me explain to you why. First, they got more sophisticated. They've been watching the videos. They've learned how to do this. Second, what's also happened is that the rent has actually gone up more. Third, they have gotten multiple rounds. You're allowed to get multiple rounds. When we're talking about third stimulus, many viewers have gotten 3 rounds of rent. All right, where do you get it? Here we go. You get it from 6 places. You ready? Here they are. City Hall, City House Authority. County Hall, County House Authority. State Hall, State House Authority. Keywords you're going to say are rent assistance because of COVID. Mortgage utility assistance because of COVID. There you go. It's as simple as that. Now, here are some things to remember, and these are very important. You must, M-U-S-T, you must reach out to all 6 places. Do not reach out to one and learn that you do not qualify and stop. That's not how we do it, because they have different eligibility. They have different pots of money. If one says no, reach out to the next. Number 2, do not apply in just one place. If you've got an application on file in one place, keep on pushing and get applications filed all over the place. Apply for the money in multiple places. Get paid in multiple places. Don't get paid in just one place. And then get multiple rounds. Do the same thing for mortgage assistance. Here we go for utilities. This is 3 months ago. $5,000 to $7,000, and then went to $15,000. It's going to go even higher. Why? The CPI, the Consumer Price Index number released last Friday, shows that heating oil is going up 59.1% year to date. That means that people have a lot more utilities. Get your utility bills paid now, folks. Get them from all your utility companies. Now, remember when we talk about rent or utilities, you can go backwards and forwards. That's generally how they pay. They generally pay money in the past, and then they'll pay months into the future. Here we go with SNAP. Very exciting. SNAP is food. You should not be paying for your own food. If you qualify for a stimulus check, you should get on SNAP immediately. Where do you get it? Department of Agriculture. Contact Department of Agriculture to get on board. How much does it pay? Up to $25,000 now being paid to viewers like Mark's brother-in-law. That is huge. $25,000 a year. Over 10 years, Mark's brother-in-law is going to get $250,000 from this channel. Get that SNAP. It's going up 25% a lifetime starting last month. Finally, get combos. Get multiple items. Here we go. Here was Nisi at 3 items, $23,000. Nancy at 3 items, $32,000. But Mark at 2 items, $32,000. I said to Mark on air, I said, 2 items, Mark, that's good. That's a lot of money for 2 items. But get the third. He did. He got to $50,000. Then he didn't stop there. He kept on getting money. He's now at over $100,000. Lorraine, she was at 105. She's now at 120. Keep on pushing. Which brings us to Johnny. Johnny's the true embodiment of this channel. Johnny was one of 3 viewers who started a particular week with $0, and by the middle of the week, he got $45,000 like the 2 other viewers from 3 programs. Good. He didn't stop, though. He kept on pushing. By the weekend, he got 7 programs paying him money. Now, several reasons I like this story. First, he didn't call 7 phone numbers. He probably called 15 phone numbers, maybe 20, because you don't get 100% approval rate across the board. He kept on calling. And he called at least a dozen, maybe 2 dozen in 5 days and got 7 approved. That's how you do it. He then got $80,000. Wow. Started the week at zero, ended the week at 80,000. The second part of the story I love for Johnny is what happened on the following Monday. The following Monday, he reached out to his family members. He said, "You know what? I found this kid on the net, LALATE, and I got $80,000. Wow! How'd you do this? What'd you do? Third stimulus. They said." There's no money in third stimulus except a $14 stimulus check. I saw that on broadcast media, saw it in print media, I saw it on cable news channels. There's no other money in third stimulus. Yeah, there is. He showed me, and I got $80,000. Johnny's family members were disbelievers because broadcast media, print media, cable news does not cover this. Will never cover it, hasn't covered it, and won't be covering it. And they became believers. By the end of the week, they got $50,000 each. What's important to understand is that third stimulus, fourth stimulus, these monies, even second stimulus and first, are not covered in print media or broadcast media. So no time and place to say, I went into a search engine, I typed in something, or I turned on my local news, I didn't see it on local news. I picked up the newspaper, I didn't see it there. They have never, ever covered this money. They don't care to cover this money. It doesn't bring them the ratings. They want to do Chloe and Courtney's stories all day long. They don't want to run this type of story because they can't figure out how to bring in viewers on it. So they don't. And then some people who watch it think the money doesn't exist. Not you. So get those sums of money. And I love Johnny's story where he showed his family members and they believed and they got $50,000 by the end of the week. Which brings us back into now fourth stimulus. The remainder of that fourth stimulus is a lot of money in that housing provision. First, the home repairs. Yes, low income. So this would be a grant to you if you live in a low income community for that home repair. Next, weatherize your home, not necessarily for just low income. And then that first time home purchase. It's huge. Your first time, and a single family residence. There we go. They got $550 checks for the Pell Grant recipients. This is front end checks. They got $150 billion more for my seniors on disabilities and for seniors and people on disabilities for the home health care. And the big surprise is this $12,500 for the purchase of an electric vehicle. First time on Evenings LA, you're seeing that number doesn't line up particularly correctly for some cars. Why? Because the car has to be made in the United States and Ford, Chrysler, GM. At the moment, there's only 1, 2, 3 cars that qualify for it. So the president sort of needs to fix this language. Then they got $65 per child in that for food. One of the best provisions of the credible recon is the cheaper prescription medication. Medicare for 20 years couldn't do this. Now they can do it. Starting as soon as this day becomes law, Medicare will be able to roll out 20 medications cheaper dramatically on Part B and Part D, including the most expensive medications like cancer, arthritis, and diabetes. What's at issue? What's at issue is, for example, the price of insulin will drop from $1,000 a dose to $35 a dose. Wow. They'll grow this up to about 30 medications by 2028. The rate of increase thereafter or during that duration cannot be more than inflation. And if it goes more than inflation, then there's a penalty. What about that penalty? Well, that penalty is the subject of review by the Senate parliamentarian. And she's looking at other provisions of this recon as well for review. Pat Toomey, Republican, says penalties do not belong in a recon. He has put that before her, and other provisions are before her as well. Republicans vowing to put a lot of provisions before her. What are also clearly at issue is paid leave. That is a question mark, but the immigration reform likely to come out because she said before it cannot go by recon. When you look at this graphic on air, you understand, well, wait a second. This is the same checks that were in the third stimulus. Viewers got $45,000. Yeah. So the $15,000 is definitely undervalued, but it's also undervalued because senators are adding other sums of money in there. Bernie Sanders says the best bill since the 60s, but I'm adding a lot of provisions in there. So says Ron Wyden, so says Coons and Casey and Schumer and also Murphy. And so get that pen and paper ready. Says we're going to go over some of those incredible clusters of checks right now. What are they and how much do they pay? Here we go. Universal pre-kindergarten for 3 to 4-year-olds, 1 year front end. Childcare, back end check. Then they got the enhanced tax credit, front end check, $3,600 approximately for 1 more year. Earned income tax credit, back end. Then they got the home health care for my seniors, likely just a covered benefit. But the Medicare may actually be a check in the mail for hearing. We covered the housing, we covered the Pell Grant of $550, and we covered the $65 check for the people who need the food. But what provisions is Bernie gonna add in there? Well, Bernie has made very clear that he's adding at least 3 provisions in this incredible recon. The first one is dropping the eligibility age of Medicare. Where is it right now? At 65. He wants it to 55. Bob Casey wants it at 60. Next provision Bernie says he wants to add on the sad side, in addition to, of course, that MSC, is the provision for dental. It was recently in the recon of 10 years, then down to 3 years. Full benefits, full complete benefits. What happened? It got removed after it got reduced to an actual check. Last time it was on the recon, it was a check, $850 check direct to you if you're a senior on Medicare. And then it got removed. So he wants to get it back in there. $850 is still a little bit too tight because it doesn't cover most procedures, so you want a little bit more. Finally, Bernie wants to put in there vision, which is an eye exam per year and a new pair of frames. An eye exam at Costco is about $50, and a pair of frames, a very nice frames with the lens in there, is about $100. $150 check in the mail for my seniors or people on Medicare. But what's at issue here is when you look at this incredible recon and you look at the price of frames, it's still not agreed upon. Why not? Well, some people, when they look at the question and the issue, they think the frames cost a little bit more. At issue, they really don't see eye to eye. And that's caused a big scandal, frame wars. Frame wars. As it started no less than 3 days ago in episode 1, where one viewer was on the live chat and she said, you know what? My daughter buys my frames. She pays $450 a year. And they're very nice. And that's what Bernie should get for us. In episode 3 tonight, one viewer was in the live chat, was in the social media commentary of this yesterday and said, this morning, and said to me, LALATE, I get trifolds or bifolds or quadrifolds. It keeps unfolding the lens. And I get special color and a certain type of frame. It's over $1,000. Tell Bernie, get $1,000 glasses. Yes, we just don't see eye to eye. Very, very expensive. Medicare is not going to be buying $1,000 frames every year for Americans. It's not going to be only $400 frames. I think by episode 5 of Frame Wars, we'll be up to $2,000 frames. Medicare does not shop in Paris, France for frames. It does not shop in Paris, Kansas for frames. This is not Gucci, and I'm not the House of Gucci, and you can certainly nominate me for an Oscar. But what do we do with the controversy of frame wars? Let's take a look and see what we should do when dealing with the issue of frame wars. And that is Frame Wars. Have the Frame War dance down? Yeah, it's better than the pair dance. The Frame War dancer. I think we got a competition. Pair dance, Frame War dance, and the farmer dance. He's coming up later tonight. So there you go. It is far from over. In tomorrow's video, we will see whether the commentary on Frame Wars brings the price tag over $1,000. If you have a comment about how much you think frames should be in the Four Cinemas Recon, serious or humorous, send it to me on social media. Sometimes I don't even know if they're serious or not serious. And there you go. Remember, advocate for MSF. MSF, it's multiple seductive frames. Do it, Bernie. Finally, the provisions that need a little bit of fixing in that recon, in addition to $1,000 frames, is the provisions that the numbers just don't line up. What are our issue? When we look at this recon, we have the question about the child tax credit. I show it $60,000 or less. Some of the notes showed 150. I show more money for housing, and I show a little bit more money for the home health care. But we'll see what they do with this when they get to it. Student loan debt forgiveness. More debt should be forgiven. The president's made a $10,000 offer. The Democrats should take it. It would go by executive order. They wouldn't need a recon for it. That executive order would come on the heels of the holidays. $10,000? Yes. President forgave 3 rounds of student loan debt first. He forgave people who became disabled. Then he forgave people who went into the nonprofit sector. And finally, he forgave people who became public workers for over 10 years. That's your city, county, and state. Democrats, they should take the $10,000 offer. It is good and it works. Doesn't mean they can ask for more next year, and they can. Then the details as we go into fifth stimulus are really heating up. And that fifth stimulus COLA raise is in 2 parts across the board. First, COLA raise is coming in January 1, 5.9%. Your benefits are going up 5.9% starting January 1. But that ain't going to cut it. Why? Because it's COLA. Your benefits have been behind the 8 ball for a long time. They were too low before the pandemic, too low during the pandemic, and now too low after the pandemic. And now it's all because of COLA. So they're getting rid of COLA after this year. Under fifth stimulus, at least. First, they're going to raise your benefits up one big time to get you caught up. Then they're going to apply a new benchmark in December 2022, which is inflation. It's going to be about 3%, approximately. And they'll apply a new benchmark application every December, so you'll keep on going up. Remember, once you go up, you never go down. They're going to remove the asset cap, remove the income cap, and remove the marriage penalty. Finally, if you haven't become a member, what are you doing? The membership link is under the video. Click that button right today and become a member. The membership newsletter goes out 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time tonight, Monday through Friday, and features the big money under first, second, and third stimulus. That membership newsletter features in there the 6 places to reach out to, the keywords you say, the nonprofits, all 5 of them. Also features the Treasury statement you want to read before calling up those cities and county and states for the rent. It's important to understand that the members of this channel have been the ones that have succeeded the biggest. You have Nisi, you have Mark, you have Johnny, you have Lorraine. What did they do? They took the information of the newsletter and they ran with it. That is why you want to become a member. Get those big sums of money right today. And with that, that's a perfect segue as we go into the final minutes of this video and my commentary of what I see going forward across the board. I'm very, very excited for the viewers of this channel because you've really laser refocused in the last few days. We saw a big issue on last Saturday. As some viewers were saying in the chats, get the 4th stimulus MSCs done to pay my rent. I said, wait a second. You can get your rent paid today. You don't need to wait around for 4th stimulus. You don't have to wait around to see what 4th stimulus will be. You can do it on the 3rd stimulus. And we turned it around, and boy, did we ever. On Saturday, we had no less than 0. I don't think there's anything less than 0. 0 people reach out to the volunteers every 3 days. 0 in 3 days, when we usually had 16 a day reach out to each volunteer. We're now, as of tonight, at 9 people reaching out to a volunteer per day. Now, I'm not advocating for you to reach out to the volunteers. Why? Because the big success comes from you taking the information and applying it yourself. As I just said, the information is here. You need to make the phone calls yourself. The volunteers are a backup if you cannot find it, and they'll tell you where it is. But they don't have a tree in the backyard that they're picking money off the tree to give it to you and hand it to you. They will show you, but ultimately take the information in the newsletter. You've been told the 6 places in this video. Call those 6 places. Call all 6. You qualify. Over the last 2 days, we've delivered a new acronym on this channel. It's DNQ. What does it stand for? Do not qualify. There's always going to be a person who says, I do not qualify. And ultimately, I can't help that person. That person's going to be left behind. That person is always left behind because that's the person who lives in a fake narrative that you can't convince them otherwise. What are they doing? They've done it since the 1st stimulus. They've done it all the way to the present. They say, I do not qualify for anything, and hence I must have that thing. And it's unfortunate, but that's how they are. So I'm not here to record for them, and I'm not here to respond to them, and I want you to ignore them. Case in point, there was someone in the morning's chat today said, I don't qualify for anything because I'm a dependent of my son's tax return. Oh, my goodness. That is not a grounds to be disqualified. It's just, but it shows you how they're just sort of latching on to something they read somewhere, and they think they don't qualify. I don't qualify because I don't file tax returns. What? What does that have to do anything with the situation? And so they are out there. Ignore them. What you have done so well, and I saw it whether it was Bonnie on the 1 o'clock afternoon show, or the person sent me the message in the middle of the day, the person sent me the message yesterday. You're getting this money. You're like, wait a second, I'm getting it. There's money available right now. I'm not going to wait around. I tell you there's money. Go get it. Oh, money? Okay, I'll go get it. That's a pretty obvious thing to teach people. All I have to do is show you where to do it. And if you pick up the phone, if you like to talk on the phone with your cousin for 2 hours about that trashy reality show you spoke about, watched last night, then you can certainly pick up the phone and get this money. Here's what I want you to do when you separate your given week. Give yourself maybe 2 days, 3 days to advocate with the senators. Casey Coons, Sanders Schumer, Warren Wyden for that MSC, that monthly IRS stimulus check, or multiple IRS stimulus check. And then give yourself some time to get the rent, utilities, and food, and internet, and mortgage assistance, and whatever. I like Mark's story, and I love Johnny's story for so many reasons. I like Johnny's story because it shows us a person who listened very attunely to the video. I was saying very clearly at the time, get as many pots of money as possible. Don't stop with 1, don't stop with 3, don't stop at 4. He went to 7 in 5 days. He got approved from 7 sources of funding in 5 days, and he listened to my message of allowing to do overlap. Please do overlap. Please do multiple items for the same, multiple payments for the same item. Get 2 sources of rent, 2 sources of food. Get the money as often as you can. He got it, and he did it very quickly. And he obviously was very good at it because he told his family members, and they got $50,000 in just a few days. Mark, he embodies continual efforts, which I love. Where Johnny did it in a very short period of time, Mark did it over a continual period of time, and I like that story as well. Here's an example. Mark was at 2 items, $32,000. Then he went to 3 items at $50,000. It wasn't like the next day. It was like about a week later. And then about a month later, he brought it from 50 to 100,000. I like the viewers that are hearing my message saying, if you got the money in earlier this year and you got another round in the summer, get another round now. Keep on getting rounds of this money because that money is available there for you to get. There is a lot that is going on, and some of the messaging is very important. And the messaging is that you got bills? Let's get the bills paid. Let's get the bills get paid together. There is no time or place to say, well, what about that bill? Because the response I have back to you is, well, what about these bills? You got, let's say, for example, 10 bills in the household that you got to pay every month. I can't do every 10. I can't do all 10 bills. But maybe I can do 7 bills. Maybe I can do 6 of the bills. And if you get 6 of those bills paid, and let's say you get them paid into the future, which I tell you to do over the months in the future, then you got that extra cash in your wallet. If your rent, your food, your mortgage assistance, and items like that are being paid by the federal government, suddenly you're not paying for it, and that cash is staying in your wallet. And now that cash can pay for the other bills that the federal government doesn't pick up for. Like, federal government won't fix your tires on your car or fix your roof on your house. But now you got the extra cash sitting around to pay for that money. That's how we do it. We always remain focused, we always remain positive, and we always remain on point. And with that, I'm very excited for you because guess what? In preparing for tonight, I found that there's a whole group of videos of sirloin that have never re-aired. Never re-aired. I didn't know they existed. I'm not quite sure how many there are. I saw at least 3, but here we go. And all the excitement's heating up. They're talking about the Calcino. Did you see them talk about the Calcino? If you haven't, here they are. And there you go. I mean, one night we have the dancing frame guy, and now we have the dancing cow man. They got all their unusual moves. I mean, from the Midwest to the frame stores of the United States to the sets of Santa Monica, California. Pair dance, frame dance, farmer dance. We're going to be dancing right into the bank and cashing those checks, not tracking those checks, because third stimulus is paying big sums of money. I'm excited that the viewers have continued to send me messages throughout the day saying, I got this money, I got that money. Keep on doing it. Don't settle for 1, settle for 20. Don't settle for 2, settle for 10. Keep on getting sums of money. And then get ready for fourth stimulus. Don't be a donut. Don't be a tracker. Don't be a DNQ. Focus on the present and focus on the bills getting paid, and you are going to get a smile on your face. I see the excitement. I see the motivation when someone is on the live channel. They say, I got some money for rent. They feel it, and it energizes just not them, but everyone else. I'm excited for you. Join me next as we go into evening's countdown, and then we go into stream stimulus. And then at 8 o'clock tonight, get your Calcino Farmer dance on, because Sirloin is back. And with that, subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, YouTube record. I want you part of this incredible family. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like the video and consider becoming a member. Stay informed, stay focused, and stay with LA for more.